Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Hey, episode 150.
Yay. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's kind of a milestone, or at least half of one.
Yeah. Do I sound groggy? I just woke up.
You're always just waking up.
I took a 30-minute nap.
Well, we have a surprise for everyone this episode, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. First, we want to talk about our giveaway, and that will be ending on May 28th, which is Saturday, the last Saturday in May. Mm-hmm. And we are giving away the first order backpack and the collectible May 4th, 2021 Dark Force key. Magic key, I guess.
Yes.
Not a magic key pass, collectible key.
No, collectible key, not a magic key.
So all you have to do...
One day we'll be able to give away a magic key.
Oh, yeah. That's the goal, right? Podcast goals.
But you'd have to find us in the park.
Oh, well, that's never going to happen.
We're not going
to. That's impossible. Yeah, all you have to do is answer this question and send your answer to us via Facebook, Instagram, or email it to us at info@ropedroppingknowledge.com, or you can post it on our blog at ropedroppingknowledge.com. Wait a minute. info@ropedroppingknowledge.com is our email. ropedroppingknowledge.com is our website where the blog is.
Yes.
So you could do all of them, and if you do all of them, you'll get 4 entries, I guess. The question is, who's your favorite Star Wars character? Very simple. And again, this contest ends on the 28th of May. And, oh, yeah, that's the day after we're going to be at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be great. Day after Kenobi premieres.
Oh, yes, that too.
Mm-hmm. So, must be 18 years older, live in the United States, and the winner will be drawn at random on the 29th. And we are still doing our wallet giveaway. Still. So we'll be at the parks on Saturday, this Saturday, the 21st. And the first person to come up and approach us about the wallet, Minnie Mouse, Kate Spade card wallet, will get the Minnie Mouse, Kate Spade card wallet.
Yep.
All right. So now that we got all that out of the way, I've been telling people, since we started, we're going to have guests on the show.
Yeah, we're supposed to have Kevin and Christina on to talk about Club 33.
Yeah, but
I mean, now it's easier that
we went a higher level right now, though.
Yes.
We went God tier. We went Walt. We went super magical. So now, without further ado, we are bringing you from the Windy City, the one and only Dole Whip Float.
Okay. You can tell you love UFC.
You there, Dole Whip?
I am. Oh my gosh, that intro, too much. Now I'm like stressed that I can live up to that. But
You've already lived up to it.
Oh, I'm super excited to be on. Like, I listen to you every week, and I feel like I always want to like have a dialogue with you. So now to actually be talking to you live is super exciting. So thanks for having me.
Oh, no. Thank you for coming on. You're 2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, so thanks for staying up late.
I know.
Well, I'm up late anyway, so super fun talking.
How's the Dole Whip family been?
Good. Yeah, we're just kind of plugging along and taking our trips down when we can. So
yeah,
we've got another one coming up pretty soon, actually.
Dole Whips, I think you're going to probably sample all the treats around the world eventually. All the
I don't know. There's so many, and there's like the festivals like change all the time. So I feel like we're always trying to check off everything on the checklist, but we'll get there eventually, hopefully.
So you're one of our 2 Disney World experts, and as far as our listeners, I mean, we have Rhiannon, Who also is in Chicago, ironically.
Yes.
I don't know,
Oh
coincidentally,
yeah,
I guess.
she wanted to be on sometime, so yeah, we'll have her on.
Maybe we can like get together. And then
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
And you actually got to experience something that most people in the world have not, because you actually got to experience Cosmic Rewind. What was it, this past weekend?
We did, yeah. It was this past weekend, so it was Sunday. We got to go as part of the annual pass holder preview event. I know they've had cast member ones and they had DVC ones and also AP, but we signed up through the AP, so we got to do that on Sunday, and it was amazing. Like we were so excited and so lucky that we got to do that.
So, like, kind of walk us through, like, how did the whole day go leading up to it? And then the queue, everything, how was it organized?
Yeah, so well, a few weeks ago there were signups, and it was kind of this crazy mad rush. They didn't tell us actually when the signups were going to go live, so we just got an email being like, "They're live," and you hop in. And I know you guys always experience the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad when you're standing up for Magic Key, but I think there was a similar queue, so we did that. I actually got the news from WDWNT. Like I saw it posted first before I got the email because I think it went to my trash folder or something. But luckily we were able to get in, like pick a pretty good time because we knew that we had to go on a weekend because we literally flew in, or we were supposed to fly in Friday, and then that got delayed. So we came in Saturday morning and then went home Monday. So we're like, we literally have to do it on the weekend. So we got a Sunday, and then it gave you like a return time. So ours was between noon and 1 o'clock. And the cool thing was if you got a Guardians preview time, it gave you the park pass for Epcot because the reservation system, like it'd be kind of a nightmare if like you got the reservation or for the ride, but then like not the park. So,
Yeah.
So that was cool. We could actually see it in my Disney experience that like we had the park reservation. So that day we just entered the park just regularly, and then at our given window time, we just headed straight to the ride. Which is where the Universe of Energy used to be. So that used to be Ellen's Energy Adventure, and that's now been converted into the Guardians built ride. So we went there, and there were cast members checking people in, and we just I think it was actually linked to our Magic Band. So I just gave them my band to scan, and once they scanned in, they saw that we actually had the time. We were able to go into the queue, and that was really exciting because at first everyone was super excited and like bubbly, and it was pretty much everyone's first time going.
Yeah.
So just like that buzz was like so fun and exciting to experience, like seeing everybody being like all collectively like super pumped about it. And so we just kind of walked through the queue, and I don't want to give like too many spoilers for anyone who's going to be going on it because I think that the queue and the pre-show is all part of the experience.
Oh, kind of like Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, like there's just cool things to see, and I don't know, like you go through several different rooms, and there's like different things going on in different rooms. So it's not like there's not like an animatronic or anything like in Smugglers or anything like that, but there's like some video things and like little displays, and you're supposed to be going through like a museum type tour of this alien culture, so kind of learning about them. And then of course, as is usually the case with any Disney ride experience pre-show, something happens.
Something goes wrong.
The story a lot. Yeah. And then you go into different rooms, and they set up why you need to go on this fast moving adventure. So there's a movie type situation, and then you get led into the boarding area so you can see all the cars going through. And then we boarded our vehicle and we're off. So it was super, super exciting.
So what was the experience like on the ride? Is there any drops? Is it fast? I mean, is it both? Is it kind of spinny? I heard it was kind of... Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Like this one is I think the first, and this isn't giving anything away because it's actually like on the website, explanation on the Disney website, but it's the first reverse launch. So if people are kind of
Mm.
familiar with Rock and Roller Coaster, or actually, you know what, California Screamin', no, Incredicoaster,
Mm-hmm.
is similar to that, where like it just goes from like 0 to 60 in 5 seconds or whatever.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
the exact
Yeah.
thing. So, but it goes backwards. So that's super unique. And I actually texted the picture of the PhotoPass picture
Yeah.
of us on the ride to Tracy earlier
Oh, so
today.
they have
My
PhotoPass with this ride. I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So they take it like
Yeah.
right when they're launching you, and my face was like, ah, like, it
Oh,
was like
that's right
so
when they're
crazy.
launching. No wonder. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Because most rides, they take it
Um,
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like it catches you kind of off guard, but it is so massive in the ride. And I thought it was like really, really smooth. The cars are little just like roller coaster cars, but it's four per car. And then I want to say two or three linked. So I think it's like eight or 12. I can't remember exactly. And then, so it's like a regular roller coaster car. There's like four people, so like two rows of two. And then those cars swivel in two, in multi directions.
Oh
So
wow.
as you're going forward, it can also turn. So you're going like up and down hills and like banking and cresting, and then there are ride elements in it. So those, as you go past them, and there's like projections and different things to look at. Your car turns sideways, so you can like look at them. So that's totally wild. So like it feels like you're moving like in every direction. And there's a music soundtrack which is
Mm.
integrated amazingly. It sounds like incredible. So there's like songs, and it was
And it's like
awesome.
70s, 80s kind of Guardians of the Galaxies type music, right?
Yeah, so this was actually a surprise. We didn't read anything ahead of time because I wanted to be like totally surprised and I didn't want any spoilers.
Hmm.
But when I was talking to someone else recently about it, they were like, "What song did you get?" And I was like, "Oh, we got." So ours was Conga, the Gloria Estefan
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
song, which is really fun and upbeat. But like, I didn't realize that I guess there's different songs so that people's
Just
Oh.
like
experiences are
the,
different.
yeah, just like the Guardians
Yeah,
ride in
Mm.
the
Disney.
mission
Yeah.
breakout.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess it's like a different song. I didn't know that. Or allegedly, I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much, but it sounds like if someone was asking me like, "What song did you get?" I'm assuming that there's different ones. So that was really cool. It'll make you want to go multiple times. But I just like that music being so upbeat and fun. Like it just makes it so fun. Like that's the one thing because we have a Tower of Terror, which is basically Mission Breakout.
Hmm.
Right.
But I think Mission Breakout is so much more fun because of the music. Like
Yeah.
it just gets
Mm.
you like pumping, and everyone in the car is like kind of like rocking out at the same time. So that's something that we're super jealous about that you have. I mean, some people like the classic Tower of Terror,
Yeah, some
but
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
We don't
I'm
like
so
either,
excited.
but
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
paying
one
attention to the
day.
song. I'm just like closing my eyes and my heart's beating, and I'm just like, just get this over
No,
with. So I don't
it's
remember any
so
songs.
fun. No, I seriously, because you have like that hang time in Breakout where it's like you go up and you like literally like hang in the air for like a couple seconds freaking out. And I love it. Our kiddo loves it too. But anyway, I digress. The coaster has that kind of fun like music element to it, which just makes everyone like feel really happy. And um, so yeah, the coaster is really smooth. We didn't have any nausea issues. I know a lot of people have been kind of reporting that they got motion sick
Oh,
on
really?
it. Yeah, I guess even like WDWNT had a whole article being like people are getting motion sick.
Hmm.
But I mean, I didn't see that really
Yeah.
coming off the
Because it's not
ride. I
just the
didn't
movement,
even.
there's a lot of lights and stuff too, right? So I
Like
mean,
the pictures, I guess, like Star
the
Tours kind
graphics.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I guess there's stuff to look at, and you're moving at the same time. So presumably you could get sick, but I didn't really feel that because I felt like it was so smooth.
Yeah.
Um,
It's always a
but
small percentage
yeah.
of people, just like the kind of people who get sick, with like crazy video games. So it's it's like a certain percentage of the population.
Hmm.
But obviously, most people
Yeah.
that's not going to affect.
I don't think so. And I know some people were really nervous about it and they're like, oh, I took Dramamine beforehand. And what, like, I definitely would not avoid going on the ride because you're worried about it.
Mm,
Because it's just so awesome and fun. It would be such a shame to miss out on it. So, and I didn't think it was bad at all. It was like a super souped up version of Space Mountain, kind of, but
That's
it's
what I
yeah.
thought. When
Yeah,
I,
it seems like Space Mountain. I was going to say 2.0, but it seems like they upgraded it even further. So maybe
like
3.0,
10.0.
10.0. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's super awesome. Our ride actually stopped in the middle, though.
yeah.
Oh,
So it like broke down, I guess, or had to pause or something. So we got about through, I would say 2/3 of the ride maybe. And then all of a sudden, like we were supposed to go over a big hill and it just kind of like, where you start going up and then you kind of slide back down. You're like, and I didn't
Oh,
know
man.
that
Is it
was
supposed
part
to
of
do
the
that?
ride. Yeah. And then like the music shut off and
Oh,
the projection shut off. And I was like, so then I was like, are we going to have to be evacuated off of here? So then I was a little bit stressed out. And it was kind of cool because we got to see in a way like how massive that space is, but it's just like huge, like
mm,
airplane hangar, cavernous, and you could hear like a pin drop. And so I think it was just our car in there. And so that was kind of an interesting experience. So we were a little bit bummed that we didn't get the full experience because
right.
after they finally got it going, it like they didn't have any music in it and they didn't have any
Oh,
projection. So it was just the car moving, which was still fun, but we're like,
yeah.
womp womp when we came in.
No.
But exactly. Yes, that feeling exactly. So, but it just made us like more excited about going in
To go
on it
back.
the next time. Yeah.
Right. So you got kind of like the 90% experience. So you got,
Yeah, we
yeah.
definitely got a feel for what it's going to be like, and even the amount that we saw was spectacular. Like I cannot say enough good
Wow.
things about it. So now you guys have to come down to Disney
Now we got to go
World so you
to the
can
land of
go.
alligators.
The humid weather.
You can make it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go. I've promised my family members for like the last 8 years that we're going to
Yeah.
go.
They
So,
always go without us.
yeah. So,
But
yeah.
it's is it going to be virtual queue when it finally opens this
Yeah,
next weekend, I guess?
yes, it's going to be virtual queue. So I think there's going to actually be 3 boarding groups for it. The 7 o'clock one, which is at 7 o'clock in the morning, day of. And I think if you're on property staying in a resort, you can make it before you get to the parks. I think that's one difference between Disney World and Disneyland. I think you guys have to be in the parks to make for those. So anyway, so there'll be one at 7, one at I believe 1, and then for people staying in deluxe resorts, there's going to be one more. I want to say at 6 o'clock for the extended hours, because there are some days where some certain parks are open late for guests that are staying in deluxe resorts. So on those days, deluxe guests can have like a third opportunity to get in a boarding group.
Oh, that's good.
That's really interesting.
We need
3.
to stay at a deluxe resort when we go.
I
Just
guess.
kidding.
Yeah, that's going to be our excuse.
It's a huge benefit because we did that once a couple months ago, and the park was almost empty. Like we walked on Frozen, which
Wow.
normally has a really long line. So it's super cool, but I would recommend that if you can swing it. Obviously, deluxe resorts aren't the cheapest, but if during your stay there's going to be one of those nights on the days that you're planning on going, I think it's really a huge benefit.
Wow. So, yeah, I think you've talked us into it. That ride. Yeah, because we're not going to get that ride out here unless Anaheim makes some major changes and improves.
Well, there's a lot of rides we want to try that
Yeah.
we hear, like the Raymie.
Yeah.
And
The only one we're getting is the Runaway Railroad. That's the only one that,
Yeah.
from over there that's coming over here. So, Yeah, we're gonna have to go over there for
There's
everything
that
else.
Slinky Dog one.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So, but this puts it over the top. The other rides I could maybe take it or leave it, but the way you made this one sound, it's kind of yeah, we got to go.
And I kind of cheated and watched all the point of views, the POVs, and I was like, you know what, I want to watch it because I don't know when I'm going to make it over there. I watched everything. I mean,
but the point of view is that everyone keeps saying that you can't because the way the light is.
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
So, well, great. Well, thank you for giving us that. There's one more thing we wanted to ask you about. Is we are going to be doing a cast member spotlight after this segment, and there's something that we were advocating for, like way back, like a year ago, I think, about being able to compliment a cast member just through the app without having to go to town hall or whatever. But you've actually got to do that, right?
Yeah. So I actually did this on the last trip. We had a really awesome experience with a cast member, and for us, it's actually just integrated into I think it's just called the Disney World app now, but it used to be my Disney experience. So I keep calling it that, but just the app. And it is super simple. You just click on the app button and you pop up. It's one of the little selections. And then once you hit cast compliment, it gives you kind of a little like a little form where you just select like what park, what general area, they're like kind of sectioned off into different areas like Main Street or Frontierland or whatever. And then it tells you, and you can pick like attractions or dining or whatever to kind of zero in on where the experience occurred. And then this is the cool thing that they actually added more recently. When it first rolled out, it didn't have a place to put the name of the cast member, which was so crazy.
Yeah.
Like they just, like what's the point of generally complimenting that
doesn't
specific.
You would never know.
That's good old Disney communication right there.
I know, right? Like,
app development.
What's the point of this? Exactly. So now you can put the name of the person and their hometown. So,
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And that's the one thing I always forget to look at when I want to do the cast compliment. Like I remember their name, but then I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot where they were from, which would really help zero in on exactly who that person was. So if you want to do it while you're in Disney World, definitely try to make note of both the name and their hometown that's on their badge. But and then you just enter all that information and click submit, and then it goes to I don't know, the pixie dust factory that,
But do you get to enter like comments, like tell them what happened?
The one thing, that's what I really wish that there was, like a field that you could say exactly what the interaction was.
You don't get
but like they have a drop down and it has like different options that were like, this cast member went above and beyond to make my experience magical, or they resolved my issue, or they I don't know. Like there's different things that I generally
actually agree with that. Being in HR, because you just get a bunch of trolls if you start putting a comment section.
Really?
The same way you have comment sections on Twitter, like YouTube, like you'll just get people. If it's supposed to be a positive experience, you'll start getting complaints, even though it's for
even though it says compliments.
Yeah, do you think that's going to stop people?
No, but I figured if you make it harder because you put comments where you write stuff, people aren't lazy, so they'll take the time to write. Because if you're just clicking and clicking, then anyone
if you can only do positive stuff, you're only going to get positive stuff, and I think that's the point of it: is to reward cast members. It's not to be a demerit system. You know what I mean? So, and I know there's just too many Karens out there. You know what I mean? Men and women. They're just going to you know what? I know this is a complimentary system, but my ice cream melted before
whatever.
Yeah. So I'm glad they're doing it that way.
I do think like it's so fast too that it really encourages people to do it because it took like 10 seconds, and so if you had to write something, I'd be like, oh, I'll write it later. Like it's too much to explain.
Right.
So that was like I literally had a good experience. Like, oh, I'm going to compliment this cast member. I opened up my app had it done in like 10 seconds and went about my day. So I just love that they made it so easy, because, cast members are out there making magic for people. They have been doing it this whole time, but it was like such a hassle to like compliment them. I'm like, I'm not going to go stand in a long line at town hall to like compliment somebody.
You want to go on Space Mountain, or do you want to compliment a cast member,
Right.
Well, if they went above and beyond, I would certainly.
No, you wouldn't. She would have by now.
But now that I have an email address, I'll do that.
Right. But yeah, I don't know why they don't have it in the Disneyland app. Like, it seems like it's such easy programming. I just do not know why.
I think the smallest things are hard for them to program. But as usual, I think they probably start out there and then it'll come out here, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, yeah, it's a really cool thing that I think a lot of people want to be able to do easily. So I hope that means that lots of people are going to be flooding their HR or whomever with lots of compliments for the amazing cast members, and there are so many.
Right. Yeah, they are. Oh, so you gave us a lot of information. Thank you for coming on. I know it's late out there. Where can people follow you at?
So I'm on Instagram, just Dole Whip Float. So thank you for listening and tuning in. And I want to thank you, Tracy and Brian, too, for just being like a supporter of mine for the longest time. I actually ran that name by you like way
I know. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Brian was like, take it, grab it.
I'm like, I can't believe that's available.
I know, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, it was super fun. So thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, this was awesome. We got to do this again. Yeah.
It was really fun. So
you're great.
Let me know.
You're our very first guest. Our very first guest. And it's 150 episodes.
150
Yeah.
So exciting. Yeah. So thank you. It was super special for me, and enjoy. Have a great rest of your podcast, and I can't wait to listen to it. I probably will wait up until 1:00 because I normally do. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off and look forward to hearing the rest, and I'll talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Well, thank you for coming on, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Hope to see you guys soon too.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. So that was a cool treat.
Yes.
That was very, very cool. Our very first guest.
Yay.
Hopefully the audio doesn't mess up.
I know. I was like, oh, we gotta call you again. We have to talk again.
I know. But as we were saying, we do have a cast member spotlight.
Yes.
And I said we were going to be doing one 2 weeks in a row, and we are. And this man, our very own X-Man, Xander
from Long Beach.
Long
Remember
Beach,
how Carrie was
California.
saying she always forgets to look at their name tag. I always look to see where they're from because
you're nosy.
Local.
No,
because we're pretty much local, so
Yeah.
we know where everyone is. Where everything is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So Xander, my man, Alexander, but
He
goes by Xander. And he was a photographer. I think he might do more than one position there at Disneyland. But yeah, he took our magic shot.
Yeah, he took our magic shot at it's the World of Color magic key holder magic shot, which I posted a picture of the other day.
And the way I don't know how they were doing it or if they were doing it in shifts, but we had to wait. I don't know if they were switching out somebody or whatever, but we got to talk to him for a few minutes because we were waiting for.
Yeah, because there's only one spot you could use, so we have to wait for the current people taking photographs to leave. So there were two photographers.
And then they just switch.
And then they just switch. Yeah, when they're done, he's up.
Yeah.
We're up.
So we got there a pretty good time because we got to chat with him a little bit. He's a relatively new cast member, but man, this guy's personality is awesome.
Yes.
He embodies everything that we love about Disney.
Yeah.
So positive, very sharing, again, I'm in HR. That's the kind of person that I want to hire for any of our organizations. He's just a great guy. And it was really cool because, when he was taking our pictures, like a lot of photographers just want to get you out of there really quick, as fast as possible. He was very efficient, but at the same time, he was like, he let us do like funny poses and weird stuff. So I actually stalked him. He was that cool.
Well, before you get there, while we were waiting, we were talking about, because I was wearing my Doctor Strange shirt.
Oh yeah. I was going to get to that, but yeah.
And he agreed with what I thought. He agreed with the whole cap and
now, yeah, I wasn't going to go into that because
so I'm like,
that's not correct.
Captain Wanda could have saved the world by sacrificing the bot Vision.
Oh, whatever. But he's more than a bot.
No,
he has feelings. He loved Moon Knight, though.
He loved Moon Knight. Yeah. We loved Moon Knight. Moon Knight is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
anyways. Wife's a social worker.
Yes.
And I was a former social worker.
You were a social worker, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to all the social workers. A lot of people don't know, how hard a job they have it.
Yeah.
But it's a hard job, hard gig, and they really help a lot of children in our communities. So not every social worker works with kids, but usually when someone says they're a social worker, the vast majority.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah, the majority do. Some are clinical social workers that, do therapy
like
and stuff.
geriatrics. Are there geriatric social workers?
Yeah, because if you're licensed, you can be a therapist, but usually if you meet somebody who says they're a social worker, it's typically just because the municipalities hire so many.
Yeah.
That's typically who you're going to run into. So, but yeah, good on her. And like I said, I get curious because, social workers are investigators, and in HR and in internal affairs, I was an investigator. I'm just like, I got to know more about this guy. I actually found him on Instagram. This guy's like a superhero. I didn't know he probably fights crime at night. I'm sorry, I think he is Moon Knight. Maybe this was like during one of the flashes. He's gonna wake up like change in the bed. Yeah, this is his other personality.
Disney cast member, and then by day, and then Moon Knight or superhero at night.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was, I saw this, I just looked a little bit. He's doing Eskrima. A lot of people don't know that. That's the stick fighting, the Filipino stick fighting, and he was doing like some stunt choreography. Yeah, can't speak. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, this guy's like cool. This is my type of guy. So, Escrima's not as cool as jiu-jitsu, but we'll forgive him on that one. No, just kidding. We always tease the Filipino martial artists because I grew up in Mira Mesa in San Diego, and so we had a lot of people who did Kali Eskrima, and and I got into like boxing and jiu-jitsu, but we were all friends. We were all cool. But yeah, this guy is just like, he's a Disney superhero. Yes. He should be working at Avengers Campus. I want to see him.
Maybe he does, because I don't know if photographers work in different areas, like different.
No, I mean he could.
Photographer in Avengers Campus, because we met another photographer in Avengers Campus. You know what I mean? Like they probably have different.
I know what you mean, but I'm at a higher level. I'm saying he needs to be up there by the Quinjet, fighting freaking Hydra and Taskmaster. That's what I'm saying. Like, he got those kind of moves.
That's funny.
That's what he should be doing. And then if he wants to take some pictures on the side, that's good too, because he is a great photographer. But my man got moves, X-Man,
maybe
Xander,
is, but not supposed to say.
Ooh, you know what? Oh, that's kind of scary.
Exactly.
Maybe, hopefully, you didn't out him.
Taskmaster himself.
Now you're just messing with my brain. But yeah, Xander, we're gonna be looking for you again. You were a great guy, and you really made us feel, because it was kind of like we were kind of like ho hum, and I didn't even feel like taking magic, pass pictures, photo pass pictures. The wife wanted to do it. She says it's for content, but she likes doing it.
No, I like doing it because I like doing it every time we get Genie Plus, because it comes with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, but this one, Magic Key holders get it anyways, so it wasn't a Genie Plus thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let's just take all the magic shots we can.
Yeah. But you made it an experience.
Exactly. That's
he
why
made
you
it a
listen to
ride
me every time.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it brightened up my day. It made a good day like a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you for that, Xander, and anybody who goes. I don't know if he works in both Disneyland and California Adventure, but we saw him at California Adventure. So if you see Xander from Long Beach, give him a shout out.
And even though we don't have a cast member thing in our app, but I'll be sending an email to guest services and just complimenting him.
Absolutely. Nice.
Yep.
All righty. Now it's time for...
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
All right. The beef birria toasted cheese. It's at the Jolly Holiday Bakery. It's basically, you know how we rave about the queso birria tacos at DCA. This is that version in a grilled cheese, basically. So it's a shredded beef with pepper jack cheese, onion, cilantro, salsa verde on sourdough, and then also served with the consomme dipping sauce on the side.
Yeah, it was
cheesy, beefy goodness.
It's like they wanted the Mexican and American. It's like the Hulk, Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
I put the brains with the brawn. And
Yes, that's what it was. It was filling, but we were starving. The last time we were there really late. We didn't start eating our first meal till 2. So at first we're like, let's just share one. And I was standing in line because they don't have seasonal things available on mobile order because they're so popular. So I had to stand in line, and I'm like, if I'm going to stand in line, I'm getting 2. I'm getting my own. And you're getting your own. So we finished it.
I barely finished it. But then again, I'm getting old man stomach. So I can't finish as much as I used to. But it was good. It was good enough to where even if you're full, you can keep eating it.
Yeah.
Because
There's a lot of meat. If you see in the picture.
The dipping sauce is different than the tacos.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess
it's more like a French dip.
Yeah, it's more of a French dip
like
tasting. The taco one is more sour. A little bit.
Yeah, well, because that's lime.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's definitely a hit. I mean, I liked it. It's going to fill you up. I think it's enough for 2 people. If you want to eat it, it's just a snack and not just a meal. It like a half will definitely, keep you going. So, and I definitely think that's too big. Like if you have like maybe like a 5-year-old, it's going to be too big for like a kid.
Oh, yeah.
But and it's not even that it's big in size; it's just thick and dense. It's bread and meat and cheese, so you're getting your money's worth. So
usually I don't like stuff at the Jolly Holiday, but this is good.
Yeah, and again, like we said last week, it's the only drawback for the Jolly Holiday, especially with items like this, is that usually with stuff, you get a corn dog or something, you can walk around with it or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't really walk around with this because of the dipping sauce and everything, and it's kind of a little bit messy. So you're going to have to compete for those seats. And Jolly Holiday seats come at a premium, it seems like. It's like
luckily we didn't eat till 2:00, so we got lucky with 1 or 2 tables that were empty. So, but if you go during peak lunchtime, then it'll be hard.
Yeah, but I thought it was definitely worth trying again, and so, and I rarely say that about any Disney food because Disney has so many things, and they always coming up with new stuff that usually it's just one and done. Yeah,
and this is seasonal, so we don't know how long it'll be there on the menu. So definitely try it out if you can.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do a little non-spoiler Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness review.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to do it is because, we saw it and we just haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still haven't seen it.
Yes.
But a lot of people have seen it. I haven't even looked at the box office on this, but I'm sure it did really well.
Yeah, it did well. I mean, we talked about it reaching some milestone for pre-sale tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it is for the people who haven't seen it. We're not going to give away any spoilers, but I will say that you should be prepared to. It's not your. I think Marvel's trying to get into like different genres, and I think we talked about this a few times. Like they're, how kind of like WandaVision was more like the Twilight Zone of the Marvel, and then they still want to stick with the action for some stuff, and then Moon Knight was more like a psychological thriller type thing, mixed with Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
they said Indiana Jones and Fight Club. That was the tag.
And Hawkeye's like Die Hard.
Yeah, a little bit of Die Hard.
Falcon Winter Soldier was like Lethal Weapon.
A little bit.
The
Buddy
director
cop.
said it was.
Yeah,
he thought of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. So, and they got a bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking about in dot points coming up. But this one was more of, I don't want to say it's horror because it wasn't scary, but it had a lot of horror elements in it. And Sam Raimi, I always like Raimi because he did
Evil Dead or something.
Well, even before that, he was the one who did like all those Saturday afternoon shows like Xena, Warrior Princess, and Hercules. I used to watch that, on Saturdays. And then he did Spider-Man. And then, and then before Spider-Man, he was doing the Evil Dead.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? Or
no, the
Toby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it was that. So. Yeah, so he's been around. He's done a lot of stuff, but he has like these little. They really let Raimi be Raimi. I mean, all the like Evil Dead kind of
horror stuff.
Well, even the CGI, it's kind of like almost like certain parts were like kind of like weird CGI, almost like 80s. Like, stuff like that's what he likes.
Yeah.
And so even though he didn't have to do that, he probably had all the money in the world to make this movie. He still wanted to put that in. He likes that kind of stuff. So if you watch it, you'll be like, and you didn't know who directed it, you'll be like, oh, Sam Raimi directed this. And I mean, it's one of those movies. As far as the MCU, it does get into the multiverse of stuff, but not in such a way that it really expands it.
Yeah.
It still contains.
There were some people that were saying that it didn't expand it enough or something.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people, when you have any type of Marvel franchise coming out, you have people who have read all the comic books and they know all these things, and so the expectations are high. It's not like with other like new IPs where you're just kind of like, ooh, I wonder what this is about. So they come out as like, ooh, if I were making a movie about the multiverse, I would do this storyline and I would do this and I would do this. And it's like, you forget, like, dude, they only have like an hour and a half, it's like 2 hours max, you know what I mean? So not every movie is going to be like a 3-hour epic, and you can only do so much. And if you want to make the characters in a movie relevant, with 2 hours, you can't have too many of them. And so a lot of people are like, oh, I thought this person would show up. I thought this character would show up, and they didn't. I think it was fine. I think it was balanced right. I think everyone knows Wanda's in it. I think her arc was pretty good. People are going to have different feelings about her. I think the way they kind of explain things and how things work and how things can work is pretty good. They did bring up some key words that will lead to an expansion of the multiverse and stuff, and some storylines that from the comics that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, it was a very, very action-packed movie. I do think, again, when I say it's not scary, I mean I don't think it's going to scare a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it's not scary, but
I think it will definitely scare a 6-year-old.
It's horror, but compared to the MCU, other MCU movies.
Compared to an MCU movie. Correct.
But it's not horror like Freddy Krueger or anything like that, like Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever.
No, it's still like PG-13, I think.
Yeah.
So, again, little kids, like if you took a kid to see Spider-Man, they're probably not going to be scared, but a 5-year-old would be scared of this one, I think, because they do have some zombie-ish looking things in the movie. I guess that's the best way to explain it. So, let's see. As far as the cameos were concerned, I'm not going to go into who showed up or who didn't, but I was satisfied with it. The one thing, some of the things that I was not, I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think, as far as Wanda, a lot of people understand how powerful she is as a character. And I mean, and when I mean that, I mean not just in the movies, but just in the comics. Like, a lot of people, I think, they watch the movie and they're like, how could she be that powerful? And it's like, I think they should have done and I think they tried to. And again, you only have so much time in all these movies.
Yeah.
But I think that's why WandaVision was good. I mean, she pretty much turned the town into like a fantasy land of hers. You know what I mean? In WandaVision, that takes a lot of power. You know,
Monica Rambeau, or not Monica, the girl, the Kat Dennings. She said
Darcy.
in WandaVision that
she's the most powerful.
that Scarlet Witch is the most powerful, or Wanda is the most powerful Avenger, not Cap or Iron Man or whoever. You know, she said that. And then if you watch Endgame, you see that she nearly beat
even in
Thanos.
WandaVision, he's like, she almost soloed Thanos. I mean, that was a line from WandaVision.
Yeah.
But I think people forget. They don't pay attention. And it's like, she is honestly, in the comics, and you can figure the comics has thousands of characters, literally, because, I mean, Marvel Comics has existed since, what, late 40s, early 50s. Out of all of those characters that have been created, decades and decades ago, she is probably, as far as humans go, or as non-entities, she's in like top 5. She's up there out of thousands of comic characters. So, she's and I know it's kind of hard to get along, but you got to pay attention. She is that powerful, because I think a lot of people would not disappointed, but I think they were shocked, and they're just kind of like they're trying to put her over, like they say in wrestling. Like, how could she do all that? It's like, no, in the comics, comics she does way more than that. Yeah. In the comics, she took over and she turned an entire reality the way she did to that town.
She did it to
the entire universe.
Yeah.
So she's crazy powerful, and she's actually way toned down in the movies, and but even that toned down thing, I think, surprised a lot of people. But I don't think it's a disappointment for people who read comics and stuff, but for people who just watch, not all the Marvel movies, or maybe they didn't watch WandaVision, they're going to be like, how is she doing all that? I mean, why? You know what I mean? It's kind of, and I get it, but, because not everyone can see every, thing that comes out. But, but no, she's that powerful. Trust me, they're not like just doing it for that movie. It's canon,
right?
It's in multiple formats. So, I like the movie. The ending, a lot of people are going to be a little bit confused, but just hang on. I think it's going to lead to some stuff. The character in the mid-credit scene is actually a very important character in the Doctor Strange mythos. So, yeah. I give it definitely an A+. Would I put it in my top 5? No. But there's been like 25 movies.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, and I don't think there's been a Marvel movie that I've hated. I think Thor: The Dark World was probably the worst Marvel movie, and it was still
Not
enjoyable.
Age of Ultron?
Anytime you have I like the Age of Ultron in the sense that
it introduced Wanda and Vision.
It introduced Wanda and Vision, and it's a big piece of lore.
Yeah,
for the MCU. But yeah, I think Thor: The Dark World was probably the worst movie, but again, I still like Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
So it's not like I hated it.
It may be piece of lore once you watch Love and Thunder. Maybe.
Yeah, and actually, because the Russos directed Thor: The Dark World, they made it even more relevant in Endgame.
Yes,
So I like the fact that they do that, and they keep referencing it, and then they made it even more relevant in Loki. So because he's watching films and stuff. So Thor: The Dark World, and the way that they can weave stuff in and take stuff from these movies and just use them in any place in some of the most unexpected places is really cool. So I guess my point isn't that to dog on Thor. It was more like the worst movie in the MCU is a movie I still liked.
Right.
That's my
right.
point.
Worse is in how you would rank them
Right.
compared to the others.
Yeah. So we're total, MCU ride or die. So yeah. I mean, I'd probably put it in my top 10, but not my top 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I say it's in my top 5, it's only because I recently watched it and I really liked it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's true because I have to, look at all the others. Winter Soldier is definitely my top 5.
Yeah. It is hard to rank Marvel stuff because they're, like I said, they're different genres.
Yeah, they're different genres. And then they all relate. Like, of course, the latest ones are going to be one of your favorites because it all calls back to others and relates to others, So that's why. So the earlier ones may not be, yeah.
But I would definitely see it again. I'd actually go see it in the theater again. Like if
I want to.
if our weekends don't get filled up, I would actually pay to see it in the theater again.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of movies like Eternals. Like I would.
We haven't even seen it again when it came out.
Yeah,
on Disney
yeah.
Plus.
Well, because it's so long.
It's long, and it's like, all right.
And it's kind of like this melodrama. But even that's not, it was a good movie.
It was good.
But it's kind of like if you watch like a documentary on the Sahara, and it's like, it's good and you learn all this cool stuff, but you don't rewatch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, man, I remember that. There were no good moments. It was a good movie as a whole, but it wasn't like if they showed if you go on YouTube, and this is what I'm talking about. If you go on YouTube, there's certain things where even if you own the movie, there'll be a clip and you want to watch that clip. There's no clips of Eternals. There's nothing that you'd be like, oh, I want to see that part again.
I would think the only thing is the end credits because
you don't even need that. Not even that.
But I mean, if you wanted to watch it again,
no. No, I mean, there's not. I mean, it's nothing that's like, man, I remember how I felt at this moment.
Yeah,
it's like the whole movie was good, and you felt satisfied at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but
it's like in order to get that experience again, you have to watch the whole movie again.
Yeah.
So that's what's different. It's not a clippable.
No, I'm
movie.
saying if you had to, the only whoa part is the end credit.
If you threatened my life, I guess I would watch the end credit. If that's what your point is. Yeah. But yeah, good movie. Can't wait for Love and Thunder, but this is going to be kind of a Marvel heavy episode because we got a lot of more Marvel stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And so let's get to it.
Okay. So I'm going to go out of order because I want to talk about the Marvel stuff first. So the She-Hulk trailer was released.
Yes.
Teaser. Trailer. I don't know.
Trailer. It's a trailer.
The series starts August 17th on Disney Plus. And the trailer was cool.
So She-Hulk is going to be one of those. I think a lot of people. It's going to be silly. It's probably going to be.
It looks silly.
It's going to be more silly than a lot of the other ones. It's going to be adult silly though. So a lot of people who didn't read the comics, which I don't blame you for. A lot of people don't read comics.
Was like
wasn't cool. Reading comics wasn't cool up until
then.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
She was kind of created to be a satire of the over sexualization of women in comics. So, if anybody who's ever just looked at comic covers or whatever, like anytime you have a female character, they have these
a leotard.
bombshell bodies and
and they have these bathing suits, like
they're
Wonder Woman, why is she dressed without pants on, kind of thing.
Yeah, and so she was kind of made to kind of poke fun at that, and it kind of works, and she's very much the super power woman, like not just physically, but also she's a lawyer. She doesn't take any, stuff from any of the other heroes. She'll talk back to entities and super powerful stuff. She's a character, like a real character. Like she'll get into some action stuff, but even then she's cracking jokes. She's kind of in a way. If you look at her, she's closer to Deadpool than she is to Hulk. It's weird because she's funny. In the comics, she she's most of the time she stays in her Hulk form. So even when she's
that's what I saw in the trailer.
Yeah, so even when she's like going to Starbucks or even when she's working, she'll be Hulk. She'll be She-Hulk. You very rarely see her just turn into Jennifer Walters, which is her, just human form. So it's funny, and it's titled She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
Yeah, that's right.
So what I'm thinking is it's going to be kind of like episodic. So it could be like
it's not one where there's one villain throughout the whole series.
Yeah, I think there might be an overarching villain, a big bad, kind of what they say. But I think every episode or I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but they're going to probably have like different cases that she's working on, or in different villains,
like
different
Law and
heroes,
Order
different
situations.
Yeah, it's going to. That's
so
what I'm.
Every Disney Plus show, I try to match it up with whatever pop culture shows, like what we would just said, Die Hard, Hawkeye. And I think that's what they're trying to do. WandaVision is Twilight Zone or I Love Lucy, whatever.
Right.
So, so this one I'm thinking it'll be like Law and Order.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, you're going to get a lot of laughs out of it. It's probably going to be more risque than the other shows, but it's still going to be on Disney Plus, so I don't think it's going to be too bad.
Yeah,
so.
Unless it's on the login Disney Plus, like the Daredevil
behind the code. Yeah.
So that's going to be on August 17th, and then it was reported that Echo is now filming in Atlanta. So that's another Disney Plus show that's about Echo, who showed up in Hawkeye.
Right. She's kind of a cool character. And it's going to kind of lead into our next talking point because I believe she's a Daredevil character in the comics.
Yes.
And I don't know if she's going to have the exact same abilities. When I watched Hawkeye, she was just pretty much a good fighter. But I don't know if they're going to kind of go more of a deep dive into her character. She's not a main character. So the fact that she's getting her own show is pretty surprising. I mean, she did have her own comic for a little bit, but I don't think it lasted too long. But she's kind of I don't know. We'll see what they do with her.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of New York City based. It's kind of she's somebody who probably would fit better into the Netflix Marvel. But I don't know what they're going to do with her. So
yeah. Well, she's in the Daredevil universe, I guess. Miniverse.
Yeah.
Yes. So then Daredevil, Variety reports that Disney Plus is developing a new Daredevil series produced by Matt Corman and Chris Ord. That's the only information that was provided. But, like you said, obviously it's going to have
Charlie Cox.
Yeah. The Kingpin guy. I don't know his real name.
D'Onofrio. Yeah.
D'Onofrio. I mean, they had all those cameos, so of course you're not going to be like, oh, just kidding, there's a new guy,
Yeah. And some people were like, well, I don't know if they're going to have Charlie Cox because they didn't mention it. And I'm like, and I gave him an example. If you watch the She-Hulk trailer, the Abomination's in it, and he's in the same cell that he was taken to in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And if they're going to have that kind of detail from a movie
to connect.
The same lighting, the same bars, laser bars, and everything, they're not going to put Charlie Cox in the biggest movie of the Spider-Man and then not use him. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So don't worry, Charlie Cox is going to be in it.
Okay, so then back to other. I'll finish up the Disney Plus stuff. So another Disney Plus show, the Big Hero 6 spin-off series called Baymax.
Yeah, is
coming to Disney Plus June 29th.
Yep, and he's one of your favorite characters.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Look at you, a giant Baymax.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Although we don't have any room.
We don't have any more room. But,
Grogu, Baby Yoda is like all squished. Okay, and then some Disney World news. So starting June 8th, Genie Plus is only available for purchase in the Disney World app, formerly known as My Disney Experience app, on the day of visit. I guess now you can, when you're purchasing tickets and reservations, at like another site, like a travel agency or whatever, you can also upgrade by adding Genie Plus then.
Yeah.
But then after June 8th, you can only do it on the day of your visit.
Yeah. And that kind of goes to, I think it was just getting out of control. And they barely have, their app stuff.
Yeah, because some people were complaining that they were only able to use Genie Plus for one ride or two.
Yeah.
So
I think they just want to
sense.
limit it, have better control over it. And
yeah. And then finally, the Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland will reopen July 1st. It's been closed since March 14th.
So it's going to be opening. I don't know exactly what they've changed.
I know somebody asked me, is Jack Sparrow, a.k.a. Johnny Depp's, going to still be in there? Because, he's getting canceled everywhere. So it's like, I think so. I mean, they didn't say anything about taking out Jack Sparrow, but who knows? They've done a lot of weird things lately.
They better not. People are going to be really upset. And it was funny because people were upset when they put him in. Because there was like old school people who just like the classic.
But then now they're like, okay, fine. You want him out? He's out.
And then you're going to get a new group to be like, I don't think they're going to take him out. And the only reason is because I still saw him when he's still in the World Color. So,
he was?
Yeah.
Do they still have that fire? Because I thought they didn't have that fire scene with him anymore because of the whole canceling.
I don't know. Maybe they took it away for a while, but I think now that it's back, he's back.
Oh.
So, who knows? But I'm wondering.
I think it's just a normal refurb.
Yeah, because it wasn't closed too long.
Yeah.
So it was closed for what, 3 months?
Year. Yeah, March till July.
Yeah. So, maybe they just
March, April, May, June, like 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully it just runs smooth and they just cleaned up a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Remember how it started just to bumping?
Yeah.
Like ships bumping at each other.
I think some of that though is this, and I think it's with all the rides. A lot of them are just because they have so many new staff that they have to hire that the staff just doesn't know how to pace things the way
they used
the
to.
veteran staff was doing it.
That makes sense.
And there's a lot of some things that I've seen in Disney that, and again, it could be staffing shortages. It could just be just people wilding out, but I've seen more garbage on rides.
Really?
Yeah. So like that one time when we went on Ariel and we're like, what's all this stuff? Like, so I'm like, maybe it was just one kid who was just throwing stuff out of the thing and I just see a cup here.
You saw like a biscuit or something.
Yeah. And I was like, what? And then, but in old Disney, when we used to go,
everything was pristine.
Yeah. They would not let that lie there for other guests. Yeah. And then when I got into Matterhorn the time, it was like mashed up pretzels and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's where you saw like a biscuit and a pretzel.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'll blame the staffing shortage because it's hard to like just get.
Yeah, because they're only there to get people in and out, but they're not there to clean up and.
Well, they are, but it's just like they don't have the same amount of people they used to.
Yeah.
So then they have to prioritize, kind of like a triage. Do we want to get people going on these rides that are, they're waiting an hour for, or do you want to pick,
But when it first reopened, they did have to wait a little and do the sanitizing. Mm-hmm. They don't do that anymore. No. I mean, they barely even take out the pretzel.
Well, I don't even think it's like they're not doing it on purpose. I just think there's not enough people to notice everything.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure that'll change. And
so
that's it for today.
We'll be there Saturday. Look for us.
Try to get that wallet. We still got that wallet.
Xander,
we got more gifts after that.
Friends.
Xander.
Tell your friends.
Xander and
look for the wallet. Look for us. Get a wallet.
Yeah, and don't be mad, Sonny. You still are first.
Yes.
So
Sonny, tell your friends too.
I'm joking. And no, I know I probably dissed on Christina and Kevin. You're still our favorite.
Oh.
Dole with Flo is just our super fan.
Christina is really our first fan.
She's our first fan.
She's our number 1 fan.
I know. I don't.
But now that she's family, it's like, you don't count.
I gotta say that I don't want to get pelted with avocados this Sunday when we see him. She's gonna poison me with avocado seeds. All right. Well, see you guys at the parks. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.